Hello.
Yeah, cases are declining.
Yeah. Looks like we're live.
Yeah, I wouldn't
We'll
bet on it. Considering the news that I'm seeing coming across the over the transom, I
Yeah.
wouldn't bet we're live.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're probably about at least as lively as Princess Diana right now.
Spinning in her grave.
Yeah. Well, it gets bad when I have Brits commenting on my blog post going, you guys need to unscrew this.
I've got.
Well, did you link your blog post to your YouTube channel?
No.
Yeah, somebody's popped in.
Oh, two somebodies. Okay.
Ooh, we got peoples.
And I guess the way to start this, hey, Aaron, is
Incoming.
That's what she said.
well, considering that I had to go to the VA this morning to get a blood draw for my physical, and not a single person, male, female, employee, veteran, anybody, was happy with what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
That's a change from what I saw last election. That was amusing.
Well, I'm hearing, and this quote you got here from John Brennan, I'm hearing a lot of back channel chat about Stalin era quality purges.
Yeah.
Wait till you read it.
Let me go ahead and read this. John Brennan was caught on the air yesterday, and he said this: I know the members of the Biden team who have been nominated or have been appointed are now moving laser light fashion to try to uncover as much as they can about what looks like a very similar to insurgency movements we have seen overseas, where they germinate in different parts of the country, they gain strength, and it brings together an unholy alliance, frequently of religious extremists, authoritarians, fascists, bigots, racist, nativist, and even libertarians. And unfortunately, I think there has been this momentum that has been generated. Unfortunately, I think of the demagogue of rhetoric of people that just departed government, but also those who continue in the halls of Congress. So I really do think that the law enforcement, Homeland Security, intelligence, and even defense officials are doing everything possible to root out what seems to be a very, very serious and insidious threat to our democracy and our republic.
Woohoo! I'm on another list.
Yeah.
I've got a problem with this.
Oh,
We've now been called every damn thing possible, up to and including terrorist. Where is my pallet of cash, a crate full of AKs, and my freaking Toyota Hilux, people? We are empty over here. Ian, I'll flip you. You can either be the driver or the cruiser. Take your pick.
I miss Toyota Hiluxes.
Fine, then you can be the driver. I call crew serve in the back. When does it show up? Hey, CIA, we're waiting here. Brennan, this shouldn't be hard. You funded the morons doing this.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I find the language he uses to be somewhat concerning. The root out reminds me of a whole bunch of stuff I fought against.
Yep.
In the 80s.
Yep.
We're gonna root out all the okie dokie.
So, well, it tells us what we are.
Yeah, Doc Comrade.
Yeah.
Sounds like the KGB is spooling up under President Biden.
The other interesting one from a friend of mine who's a former Intel type. Well, I say former, maybe not so former. About the reporters going after now magazines and gun industry.
Yeah, gun magazines.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Not weapon feeding devices, but actual print brochure type magazines.
Yeah. Hey, Sarah.
Yes,
good evening, comrade. I'm a reporter from The Trace, a nonprofit magazine that covers guns and the gun.
I believe is funded by Michael Bloomberg.
Yes,
Okay.
It is. And I was curious if I
Michael
could get
Bloomberg.
a comment from you about some of the influencers who have promoted your product over the past year, namely popular influencers like Iraq Vet 8888, Colin Noir, Military Arms Channel, Sig Lock and Colt, Scotch 00, The Man Spot, Nut Fancy, Gun Collective, Mr. Guns and Gear, Warrior Poets Society, Kirsten Joy Weiss, Top Gun Tory, and John Shrek McPhee. They have all spread conspiracy theories online about the 2020 election and the Democratic Party. They've over-dramatized the risk of gun confiscation and fomented fears of election fraud. Some of these same conspirators that researchers interviewed for this story claim helped drive insurrectionists to storm the Capitol on January the 6th. Has your company reevaluated relationships with any of these creators in light of their political content? Has it considered the connections between this content and the rhetoric on display at the Capitol last week? We're hoping to run this story by tomorrow morning. I wanted to give you a chance to comment before it does.
Oh, you've got 12 hours to comment, which nobody is ever able to make a comment within 12 hours,
No.
which means they can run the print with, they refuse to comment, which always looks bad.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I don't know that I'd go up against Shrek.
Huh?
I don't know that I'd go up against Shrek.
No.
John McPhee. I'm not sure I'd.
No. That's but what they're trying to do is this is yet again attempt to deplatform and to push us out.
I don't know. I seriously don't know that they are actually over dramatizing the threat of firearm confiscation.
They're
When
not.
on Joe Biden's candidate page, he flat out says that what he's going to do.
Yep.
And he's going to have what's his face from down here in Texas come and get him.
Who, that dipwad in Houston?
Now the one out west, I can't even remember his name. Beto,
Oh, Aurora.
Oh,
fake Mexican O'Rourke. Yeah,
Robert Patrick O'Rourke.
Yeah, he's going to be the gun czar.
No, Francis.
Yeah.
Robert Francis O'Rourke.
Yeah.
'Cause
My middle fingers, Francis.
I had a whole bunch of briefly very popular memes around eat a dick, Francis.
Yeah, and there we go. 9 minutes.
Damn it.
It's only Dick. It
8
could be
minutes.
worse.
Yeah, Richard, it is kind of interesting how they expect you to comment on something 12 hours ahead of publication.
Yeah, because let's face it, this was sent as an email. A lot of people who are busy
Yeah.
don't check their emails, and if you're going to big companies, which is what they're doing,
Yep.
they're asking these big companies, hey,
We're going to slam you tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to slam you at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 5 o'clock now. Would you want? And they're having to scramble to get somebody to make an official, they can come up with an announcement.
Yeah.
That's got to be run by legal and HR.
Yep.
There's no, I mean, it's typical. It's typical.
Journalism.
Propaganda.
Excuse.
So they're not journalists anymore. They're propagandists.
Yeah.
It's
You and I know
typical
that.
propagandist tactics. We asked for a comment, but as of press time, they still haven't commented.
Yeah.
Which,
Well-
it looks bad. Oh, they're not commenting.
Yeah.
They didn't have time yet.
Yeah, well, and Cedar brings up a good point. I'm dealing with another channel with a long-running fanzine fighting off attempts to apply political litmus test to where the fanzine can have roots and presence,
Wow.
because that's the new thing: disavow or we paint you with the same brush.
Oh, look. Malice cancel culture at its finest. And yet, what are we told by the same people screaming love and tolerance?
Well,
This BS.
Everybody does realize that John Shrek McPhee, retired Sergeant Major, U.S. Army, commonly referred to as the Sheriff of Baghdad for his work during the global war on terror, is pretty much one of the revered folks in military circles.
Yep.
This is the same military that we've had at least two calls on Twitter that I know of for somebody, for I guess political commissars to drive through the AFES parking lots and take down license plates of anybody with a suspicious bumper sticker.
Yep.
Suspicious bumper sticker being left up to judgment of the individual.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah,
And then-
that's not
and then
biased at
You
all.
tag those people. Don't piss off the military.
Yeah.
One, you're gonna need them sooner or later.
Well, they've already pissed them off with the whole thing with having to prove your
Oh,
loyalty.
Yeah, the loyalty checks during the
25,000 National Guard.
Oh, and apparently
And they-
CID was the ones that went along with this whole nonsense
oh
and was even going so far as to find people who had links to Patriot Guard writers
Yeah,
and accusing them.
yeah. Apparently, Patriot Guard was on the list of bad thing.
Did
What?
oh yeah, and Army CID went along with it,
Yep.
proving once more Skippy was right. The MPs are not the most corrupt bastards in the division. It's CID. And if you're a CID agent and you hear me saying this, you should be ashamed of your organization.
It's Patriot Guard riders provide motorcycle escorts for veterans' funerals.
They also ensure that the families can mourn in peace and friends can mourn in peace. One of my first sergeants was at a funeral for a grunt of his who got killed over there. And it was literally Patriot Guard riders dragging him back that kept him from attacking the Westboro Baptist people
Mhm.
and making a
Yep.
fool out of himself. And he thanks God daily for those folks and donates to them.
Yep.
But by God, if you've got a bumper sticker, or if you ever posted a thumbs up on Facebook for the Patriot Guard, your loyalty was questioned, and you, this is
Well,
not,
and
this is not going to go.
they keep saying that 25 or 12, depending on which media you read, either 2 National Guard or 12 National Guard or 25 National Guard were pulled out.
Last I'd heard was 12.
But for what?
Well,
Text messages that got reported up the chain. So snitching.
boy, just all of a sudden, snitching became the right thing to do, didn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not for actual issues. Oh no, they had questionable text messages. And seriously, let's think about this from the E3 perspective. You mean all I gotta do to get out of standing duty?
Yep.
And just sit in a cell, chilling.
Is send a text message saying, "Go Patriot Guard."
Yes. You know how many E3s would be getting their happy asses out of having to stay in that duty?
E4s, there's specialists everywhere that fell
Yeah.
their knees and said, "Thank God for what we're about to receive."
Yeah.
You know that there'd be staff sergeants lining up. Man, I can't wait to go out for a ride with Patriot Guard after this.
What,
Oh yeah, you know it would have been happening.
what
Yeah.
concerns me is the number, and it's a fairly significant number, of Congress critters that got on Twitter and Facebook and announced that they didn't trust the military because it was full of white supremacists.
And they were all Democrats.
That's
Democrats,
that's a bad road to go down.
Yeah.
Democrats
RK,
haven't liked the U.S. military since they took away their slaves.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding, right?
yeah. RK makes an interesting comment. Says USA CID command fell apart long before I retired. It's not even a shadow of what it once was.
No.
My run-in with CID left me with a very bad impression with them. I have nothing polite to say.
Yeah, and she goes on to say, remember how the National Socialists told Kinder they were responsible for reporting their parents. How Stalin did the same thing, and here we go.
Here we go.
People, this
Yep.
is how you get guys like me making the choice to put my child in homeschooling so that he doesn't get indoctrinated.
Well, and Harvard students are now petitioning to revoke degrees. Whoopee.
Whoopee. Harvard, the degree
Tear
matters
your
about
ass.
that much.
Tear your ass.
Yep. The
The interesting thing is,
the thing Cedar makes a real good point. When was Skippy wrong?
the interesting thing,
Well, if you do
And-
put your lieutenant's face on the wanted war criminal posted, the command does kind of look at you askance.
and this is going to put me on a list, and I gives not one single solitary damn.
If they came through with the Hilux, it would be worth it.
I'm in my early 50s.
Puppy.
I'm still puppy, well, ish. I've got wisdom and experience, and I still have enough ass to back it up. And there are a bunch of people my age that were doing the things I was doing back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And some of us are even older, and we just don't give a shit anymore.
You got a bunch of
And some of us are daddies who ain't much amused with the idea of our kids growing up in this
you
kind
got
of
a bunch of folks in their early 50s that fought against this sort of thing
Yep.
in the 80s and early 90s. And we're just in our 50s, guys.
Vince says revoke the degree and refund the tuition. Yeah.
Woohoo!
You know, that could be an interesting lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
What?
You're going to revoke my degree. I want all my tuition
tuition
money
back.
back.
And make it adjusted for price.
Cost of inflation. Yeah.
Oh, that would hurt.
I think there's going to be a metric butt ton of lawsuits. And
Well,
I am so glad that Amy Coney Barrett is in the got the Supreme Court.
Yep.
And Jason says, remember, those who can't physically do can teach others who can.
Yeah, that would describe most of the English department at my university.
Yeah.
When I
He's
went
talking
there,
about military.
Yeah.
A
when
lot
I was
of
in,
us, our primary training was in teaching.
Yep. I actually have that NEC.
I preferred hip pocket, less to get in trouble for officially.
The other thing that struck me as funny was last night with the riots in Denver, in Portland, and in Seattle against Biden.
Portland has anything left worth burning down?
I don't think so.
Oh, they were trying to burn the ICE center again.
I think that if there's anything left on there, haven't already burned.
Yeah.
That's the great thing. When you've got a bunch of rabid chimpanzees,
They tend to take care of the trash themselves.
no, it's when you've got them, they're fanatics.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like my father said, never ever trust a fanatic because he's not on your side. You're on his side as long as he thinks so.
Yeah.
And the Antifa and that bunch of ass monkeys are fanatics.
Yep.
They don't realize they're religious fanatics, but they are. They're going on jihad. And it's changing their who they're mad at for a fanatic is like changing his underwear.
Yeah.
No, wait, they change who they're mad at more often than underwear. My bad.
Well, and Jonna brings up a good point. This is Antifa, and they went after the Democratic Party headquarters last night.
Yeah.
So
All of a sudden, the Democrat Party isn't on their side anymore because they pick who's on their side, not the Democrats.
Yep.
Well,
Got a
there's that.
tiger by the tail, and now the tiger turned back and got you.
Because when you grab that tiger by the tail and kick him in the ass, you better have a plan for dealing with the teeth.
Yeah.
And most of their plans consist of the same damn thing they've been doing. And it doesn't matter whether or not it works or not. They're going to keep doing it because, by God, that's what the revolution is all about.
Yeah.
Go out, fight, burn. They don't care. They don't give a damn who's in office. They just want to get in fights and burn things.
Yeah.
You realize Genghis Khan had better disciplined troops than this pack of idiots?
Oh,
Well,
I got Boy Scouts.
Genghis did more to reduce rape and destruction than these morons.
Well, he had a way of educating them of what to do, and that is when you screwed up, he killed your ass.
Well, remember during Vlad Dracul, one of his reign in Transylvania, Wallachia, one of his boasts was that a virgin could ride naked through his country with a bag of gold coins and nobody would touch her.
Yeah.
Yep. He wasn't wrong.
Jesse says the issue is never the issue. The issue is always the revolution.
Yep.
That is a true statement.
They want to get into fights and burn things.
Yeah.
That's it.
The
And they should have been shut down back when they first started.
But that would have deprived the left of a cause.
Well, that and, Democrats need their paramilitary arm. The KKK is completely unreliable now. So, Antifa, here we go. Here's money and funding.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, Jesse, Ian can talk faster than you can type. Yep.
What?
Jesse was putting up the comment about the single female.
Oh.
So you beat him to it. Speaking of females, the other thing that really ticked me off was the calls on the left for prosecution of the Republicans for supposedly leading reconnaissance tours through the Capitol. And one of the ones that they singled out was, lo and behold, Ms. Boebert.
Which one's Bober?
The new one that just came in is catching hell for carrying concealed.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's the one that's carrying concealed in the Capitol.
Ah,
And
Hmm.
Richard says, hire some poor Mongolian hordes. That would work. But Ms. Boebert was rather vehement on television this morning about the fact that she brought her family in. And the only place they went was the Hall of Statues. They did not get a tour of the back rooms. And
So the accusations were totally baseless?
Yeah.
What a shock and surprise!
sue them.
Yeah.
Sue them for slander. Or is it libel? I forget which. Sue them.
You know, this is why dueling
Well-
used to be a damn thing.
the statement, and there is a possibility of that, because the statement that was made was not made on the House floor.
Oops.
Damn.
So,
She needs to sue.
yeah,
Yep.
Sue their asses off.
Jesse, they don't care. As far as they're concerned, it's not our house, it's their house. And, that brings up my next question, and that is, how long will the green zone be in place? And how long will the fencing stay up?
Till the next Republican gets in the White House.
That would be probably a fairly good guess.
Yeah.
You know,
You know.
throw that out there.
But it gets bad when we've got a green zone in Washington, D.C.
Well, again, and I'm going to say this to the people who say there was no election fraud. When you can show me how it's possible to pull 144,000 votes and not have a single one go for the opposition, I'm all ears. But you people wouldn't even hear of that being brought forward in court. No. The courts rejected those lawsuits and arguments. The Supreme Court of the United States decided that it had no standing to hear a case brought by the state of Texas against the state of Georgia. And at that point, you really have to sit there and ask yourself, what are these justices thinking? How should Texas seek, justice for this? Should we have an army of Texans march into Georgia and slaughter everybody until we get what we want?
Yeah.
What are we?
Oh,
This is exactly why we had problems before with the Articles of Confederation, people.
I find it on that, and I'm going to be very brief on this. I find it interesting that the Supreme Court, whose one of the primary function is to settle disagreements between states,
wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
decided that they didn't have that Texas didn't have standing, couldn't have a disagreement with Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Michigan.
Yeah.
When I read Texas's legal paperwork, and they were very clear about it.
Oh, I know. Jonna says the fencing is coming down today.
Wow.
I guess they figure since they're now in charge, everything will be good.
Yeah. Somebody might have gone, ooh, guys, the optics here are bad.
Yeah. And Sarah brings up an excellent point. Out of 140,000 people, at least a couple would have been stupid drunk or high enough to mark the ballot wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And if you can't figure that out for yourself while claiming that you're a brilliant statistician, you probably need to shut the hell up, sit the hell down, and go relearn some things about life.
No, Jesse, there was not a single challenge decided on merit.
Nope.
None.
Not a one. And while you're never going to get the extremists or the far right insane loonies, they sure as hell would have done something for all of us who are moderate and in the center.
Yeah, there are a bunch of folks that just wanted, that have, like I tell people, I don't know there's election fraud. Well, no, I correct that. I know there's election fraud because there hasn't been election fraud in every election since the first one.
Yep.
That is the nature of man. There will be some. It's inconsequential, but there's election fraud.
Well, this time it was more than inconsequential.
Well, I don't know that.
And you
The
can
feeling
trace it to 4 specific precincts.
The feeling is that there was fraud. In my gut, it feels like there was some consequential fraud.
It was there.
That-
All
there-
you've got to do is look at the data forensics,
I
and
know.
it was there.
Okay, like I said, my gut is that in a very small, tightly targeted group of precincts, there was significant fraud. But I also realize that there's a very slim chance that what we're looking at that looks like fraud might be an artifact of something. I don't know, yes or no, which is why I would have liked
Yeah.
to have seen,
Seen it actually go to court.
and had experts go, no, if the left could have brought forth some experts said, no, what looks like this is what happened. And I realized that these systems were designed by humans with all of human frailties, which means these systems have all the frailties that humans bring, plus the frailties that computers bring. So
Yep.
these, there could very well be a really good explanation for what we're seeing. But until the left or the Bidenites come forward and say, all right, guys, we realize you stated what your problem is. We see that. Here's the explanation. And lay it out for me. If somebody were to go, all right, this instead of going, oh, you Trumpists, instead of doing that and going, all right, Ian, I understand that this is the problem you have, but here's the data, and this shows that what you're seeing is just an artifact. All right, cool. If you can do that, I got no issues with it.
Which they can't.
But when you're instead of that, when your response is, ooh, maggot, Trumpist, ook, Nazi, ook.
Yeah.
Well, when you dodge it that badly, that tells me that there actually is probably some fraud there.
Yeah.
When you dodge it that badly.
Yeah, Richard, Biden was not the president yet. So what happened was President Trump allowed the National Guard to be called up. And the federal government's going to pay for it. And he let it run, and he let them request however many they wanted, and he approved all of them.
Good.
So, yeah, that optic sucked. He created it and left them handling it.
Good. As they should.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction. I don't do predictions very often. I'll make a prediction here. About April.
Yeah.
About April, folks need to start watching alternative news sites and use the keyword Taiwan.
Yeah.
You think it would take the Chinese about that long to finish implementing it all?
I think April's when the storm seasons settle down enough that you can do mass cross-ocean movement of things with a better chance of success.
Well, that'll also give them time to get their conscripts up to speed and know which end of the rifle the bullet comes out of.
About April, y'all need to start watching alternative news feeds and use keyword Taiwan.
Yeah. And RK says, yeah, start reading about it now.
Guys,
It's coming.
I'm old friends or old colleagues are, well, a couple of them that know what my nom de plume is. They pick up spot reps.
Yeah.
And I think I got Peter Neal and a couple more fans. And they started sending me back channel stuff about China.
Yeah.
That's making me twitchy.
Yeah.
Remembering, folks, the national sport of Taiwan is golf.
Yeah.
And you want to know what a golf course is beyond really bad use of a rifle range?
It's a great practice for mortarmen.
It's a great drop zone for airborne troops.
That too.
There's nothing like a golf course for your airborne platoon because everything is smooth and manicured, and there are no rocks hiding to screw up your machine gunners.
Yeah, and Sarah says the open source stuff on China is making her twitchy. Yes, Louis, the National Guard does report to the state until they're called up. Once they're called up,
federalized, they report to
they report to
the
posts.
commander in chief.
Yeah. Now the other thing is the fact that with the comments that got made by the Dems and the Biden administration, I don't think Texas is going to be providing any more National Guard troops for anything.
No.
Yeah, have fun with your medical appointment, RK. We will not be on the air on Monday due to some travel. We have to go to a friend's funeral. Which was a hell of a surprise to all of us. But
I'm really glad I got a meeting though.
Yeah,
he's now in peace.
He's a hell of a guy.
Yeah, salt of the earth, literally.
Ralph as a corn cob.
Yeah.
Would not hesitate if he thought you needed air let out of your head or out of your ego to puncture your ego. But a good guy.
Yeah. And a pretty damn good shot.
Not a bad shot at all.
Yeah.
Boy, Jeannie and Don. I feel so sorry for Jeannie and Don.
Yeah. But anyway, that's why I'm not going to be available on Monday for a broadcast, but we'll be back next Thursday. Anyway, back to something a little bit more interesting.
You mean cheerful? Because this is all pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, there is that.
Look on the bright side. Here shortly, we could have new heads on pikes for yard decorations.
Oh, God.
If we get them in time, they'll be here for Halloween.
Well, out of the 15 EOs and the two determinations or directions made yesterday afternoon by Biden, basically were a complete head-on run to overturn everything that the previous administration under Trump had done.
Oh, he stated that was one of his campaign platforms, is undoing everything Trump did.
But what strikes me, two things. First is the previous four presidents total, so well over 20 years of administration, did a total of two EOs on the first day. Between four presidents over 20 years, 2 EOs. He did 15 yesterday, 2 directions to 2 different cabinet posts, and more to come.
This is not a surprise.
Put us back in the World Health Organization, put us back in the Paris Accords, which, by the way, is a treaty. So him saying that has no effect unless it is voted on by the Senate. And it will take 2/3 to pass.
Don't think they got it.
Nope. Even if you do get rid of the filibuster, that still takes 2/3 to pass.
Yes, but it's so important that we have it on the books now.
And he's gone after quote unquote racism.
Trump wrote an executive order removing critical race theory training from feds, and Biden has put critical race thinking right back in.
Yep. The other thing that has been done is he has come out and basically said yesterday that everything will be according to race, ethnicity, the downtrodden, et cetera, for any kind of benefits and loans, et cetera, going forward, which is patently illegal.
Yep. And it's more than that. It's absolutely disgusting. Why should my ethnicity mean that I have better access to a loan than somebody else? Why should the color of my skin matter more than the content of my character?
Yeah, because it's a new touchy-feely world.
I'd like to point out one more time that I think the next, however long Biden lasts, well, for the next 4 years, Biden, Harris, whoever's in the Oval Office, I'd like to remind the Democrats, y'all voted for him.
Yeah.
Because I think this is about to be lit.
Yeah.
It's about to be lit, and it's about to get ugly and stupid.
Yeah, Jesse, I'm hearing the same thing, that the WHO yesterday did change their COVID rules.
Oh, really? Thank you for that.
What's even more interesting talking about COVID is now all of a sudden Amazon is full on, oh, we'll help you distribute to yada, 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 yada. You know, the funny thing is that Oh, that's interesting.
I will actually give credit to an organization.
Oh, hang on. Just saw something flash across the screen. Representative Ro Khanna from wherever the hell they're from, she's from, I don't know, said that the new minimum wage should be $23 an hour.
Said that 15 should be the floor, and that considering the increase in productivity, that Americans workers have added 23 an hour. So yeah, she said, but
$23 an
These
hour.
idiots would run me out of a damn job.
15 an hour is going to run a lot of people out of a job.
Yeah.
15 an hour is what we pay manager trainees after they've proven they can handle company policy.
Richard says Biden knows touchy feely. Yeah, he does.
Oh, touchy sniffy.
Grandpa gropes.
That's like I said, what was it, last week?
Yeah.
We pay, or not we, the local agency pays its jail staff 15 an hour after they go through the academy. If your burger flipper at McDonald's is making 15 an hour, why should these kids show up at the sheriff's office to get spit on, beaten, scratched, cursed, have bodily waste thrown on them? Why should they do that when they go to McDonald's to get the same pay?
Yeah.
So,
Well, there's less chance of getting things thrown back at them.
Yeah.
so well, there's that. So, and then again, all right, the answer from the commerce critters is, well, just up what the jailers are getting paid. That comes out of taxes.
Which means you have to increase the tax
You
rate
got
on
to
everybody
increase.
else.
You got to increase the tax base.
Yep.
Which it's I despair.
And never ending circle.
I despair.
Yep.
I'm so glad I'm not in that business anymore.
Well, if we're talking about vaccinations, regardless of whether you like them, dislike them, whether you think one is necessary for COVID or not, some people are actually trying to expedite it. I will give a lot of credit to Robert Kraft, who owns the New England Patriots, and he had his staff go through and change up their facility at the stadium there at Gillette so that they could do vaccine distribution there on site. And the man's got the prime location for it. Amongst other things, he bothered to make sure they'd have easy traffic flow in and out of the site.
But the other thing is, whose job is it to actually disseminate the vaccines?
Well, if you follow
It's the states.
constitutional precedent, the president, the feds, got it to the states, who should have taken it from there.
But the states were too busy playing stupid because
No,
everybody wanted to
They
play
were
their
playing
ego.
gotcha games with the Trump administration.
Not all the states were.
Yeah.
You know who's got the highest rate of vaccination?
Texas,
No. West Virginia.
really?
Over 99% have their first round of vaccinations.
Hold up, 99% of the state.
Yes.
99% of those are supposed to get it. Texas is right up there. They beat California.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
a
shit.
surprise!
Who hasn't beat California?
On the subject of vaccines,
Mississippi, maybe?
Arkansas.
Hey,
on the subject of vaccines, folks, I realize that there's people out there that don't want to take the vaccine and have good reasons,
Yeah.
or whatever, for not taking the vaccine. But please make sure that your public reason, or your reason you're telling everybody, is scientifically valid.
Please.
Yeah, we're not doing. I'm taking the vaccine. We're not doing any favors to anyone when we spout theories or platitudes that are easily disproven.
And you don't even have the basic energy or courtesy to make sure they're actually factual.
If you do want to take it or you don't want to take it, and you're going to make a public statement about it, make sure that it's on firm footing and not, for God's sake, don't quote Alex Jones when you're saying why you won't take it. That doesn't work.
Or here's
Yeah.
a better one: if you're quoting some guy who's got the name Avocado in his name,
Oh, David
Probably-
Avocado Wolf.
Yeah.
probably not the smartest person to go to as a source for vaccines.
No kidding.
yeah. Cedar says entry-level chemist is $15 an hour with a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
And she said, for God's sakes, it's not going to affect your DNA. Of course it's not, because it's mRNA.
And like I said, be sure that you've got a firm footing for your, if you're not going to take it, just say you're not going to take it.
Yeah.
If you're not going to take it and then you quote David Avocado Wolf or Alex Jones as why,
I'm going to laugh at you. I'm going to mock you unceasingly.
that's okay. I realize that people think, suspect the vaccine might be dangerous, and they may be right. However, I will point out that of the vaccine disasters,
Yeah.
3 of them have been after what everybody says is the normal FDA. Well, I won't tell you because it's gone too quickly through the FDA certification process.
No.
3 of the last 5 vaccine disasters made it all the way through with
Yep.
thumbs up through that process. That process doesn't mean a thing. Don't quote it.
Does anybody remember thalidomide?
That process doesn't mean a thing. Don't quote it.
And Sarah says, after all the crap my 3 kids have brought home over the last decade, I figure I'm good. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
kind of like those of us that are in the military that
Oh God.
went to strange and unusual places and got shot at by the natives and got multiple shots for doing so.
I put up a meme on Facebook, and it's this little cartoon of a COVID virus in a bloodstream, standing there looking amazed. And it's,
Yeah, I
Yes,
remember that.
the COVID virus upon entering a veteran's body and seeing all the anthrax
Caffeine,
and
tobacco,
the cleaners,
Jet fuel.
toluene,
bleach,
toluene, everything else.
simple green.
And the caption is, "Bitch, you live like this?"
This is true.
Yes, it is. At this
Oh
point,
God, Sarah, her son repeatedly licked a window in Cairo airport.
Yes.
That's a brave
I
kid.
ate rat on a stick,
Yeah.
at this point,
cooked
if we're-
over a goat dung grill.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
at this point, if work offered me the vaccine, I'd take it on the condition that I could get to take a mask off and not have to wear one when I'm driving somewhere.
That's the thing of it. I'm taking the vaccine because my current job involves me being around people who are 80 years old or older.
Yeah.
Which are in the danger zone for getting COVID.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm taking the vaccine for the folks that sign my paycheck.
Yeah.
If I could make a living writing, I would not be taking the vaccine.
Yep.
Not because it's dangerous,
Yeah.
but because there's a limited number of them, and there's a whole bunch of people out there that need it worse than me sitting at home writing.
Yeah.
I'd much rather be doing the latter.
But we were told flat out that no, you're not going to take off the mask after we finish the round of vaccines. Sorry, which annoys me a great deal.
Yes.
But I'm still taking the vaccine because, again, my current job involves me being around 80 to 104-year-old people
Yeah.
who are in the danger zone.
hell, most of my fellow employees should be in your office.
No, Jason, there have been no adverse effects for me in taking it that we can tell.
How would you know?
That's a good question.
Exactly. I will
Because you are yourself.
say, folks, if you have an active and robust immune system, the first round of Pfizer sucks.
Yeah.
Because my immune system said, "What the hell?" and tuned up. And I felt like crap for 2 days. Because my very active, very robust immune system kicked the snot out of the vaccine and me along with it.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of kicking the snot out of things, rather interesting the comparison of the media coverage of day one yesterday to day one 2017.
Oh, God.
Oh, I saw the numbers on this before I came. I checked YouTube just to see what the broadcast numbers were.
Yeah.
None of them cracked double digits. Not a one. Most of them are under 1 million.
I'm waiting,
20 hours later.
I'm waiting for the
The Nielsen ratings?
Nielsen ratings to come out.
Yeah.
Funny. There was nothing about when they'd have those come out.
Yeah. Well, they got crunch numbers first.
Yeah.
And again, no matter how small they are, it's going, oh, it's COVID. People are stuck at home,
Yeah.
mainly because of idiot rules.
Yeah.
They're stuck at home with the only thing to do is look at their significant other, look at their children, or look at the TV.
Yeah, Richard,
And I will confess to having done a lot of the former.
three tours in rock. Yeah, COVID's looking at you going, oh, hell no, I'm not going over there.
Childhood in Equatorial Africa. COVID's going, damn.
Well, just because you got your own drawer at the CDC.
Yeah, that ain't no lie. I told you that I contacted Scott and White folks. We used to come back 1 month out of every 12 because the company my dad worked for insisted that he take his children to civilization
Yeah.
for 1 month out of every 12. And when we came back to Texas, my mother insisted that we needed physicals. So we'd go down to Scott and White, which at the time was one of the premier hospitals in the world. And there are entries in my file that he got sick. Damn, we know he got better. I called them after I departed from the agency to check on I was curious about my file. Turns out my file has been sent to the infectious disease laboratory in Galveston. Really, guys?
Oh, me.
My contempt for the CDC started when, after the whole Iranian business, we got kicked back stateside. And my first year, we were in Northern Nevada, first year back in the United States. In February, after we got kicked out of overseas, in February in Northern Nevada, I got malaria. 6 feet of snow outside, and my dumb butt had malaria. Went to the local hospital. Told local hospital, got malaria. They went, har, whatever. And started treating me for stomach upset. I went, oh, hell, Mom got some of the malarial stuff, probably chloroquine if I were guessing,
Yeah.
and dosed me with that and tonic water. And I got better. Well, during the whole, it was Battle Mountain, Nevada, for those of you who know. The hospital in Battle Mountain, Nevada, took blood trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with me with 6 feet of snow outside. Well, come June, 2 guys in Tyvek suits showed up at my house and said, oh my God, you've got malaria.
Yes.
February, March, April, May, June, 5 months later.
Yep.
CDC is not all that in a bag of chips, guys.
Nope. And Sarah says, we knew you were special, Ian.
Oh, you have no idea.
Jesse said the whitehouse.gov unlisted the YouTube video yesterday. That's interesting.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
You can unlist a video?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how many videos Trump unlisted.
I don't know. I don't think any.
Shit. His ego was large and healthy and wouldn't let him enlist a damn thing.
Yeah. The other fun thing was Fox continues to drop in the ratings, now down 40%. And
Good.
People, we are in the midst of a period where you have literally nothing to do besides stare at your significant other.
yeah,
Your kids or the TV.
And people are choosing the former and the middle over the latter.
yeah.
Think about it. We are in the middle of a period when people should be watching sports like nobody's business. How is basketball doing right now, motherfuckers?
But Chris Wallace has replaced Chris Matthews with the tingle up the leg.
Oh my God, that's just
When he said
obsequiousness just really sets my teeth on edge.
when he said that this was the best presidential speech he'd ever heard, and he claimed to have been around for Kennedy's speech, and I did not watch it. I had the TV off yesterday because I was doing other things. When I read the transcript last night and heard that comment, I just shook my head because watching a video about how to shear Angora goats. Okay, that probably, well, you learned something there, Sarah.
That's one of the, I
But
would think that some of President Bush's speeches after 9/11 should be in the top 3.
yeah,
He gave some really good speeches.
Yeah.
He
he
did.
did.
Hell, Vince McMahon gave some good speeches.
And Obama, for what it's worth, gave some good speeches. Man could give a good speech.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that Biden would rank up there with a post 9/11 Bush or Obama on his worst day,
Or Kennedy.
or Kennedy, or
Nobody, everybody forgets Kennedy's speech was more than just ask not what you can do for your country, or
Right.
your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. There was a lot more in that speech, and it was an excellent speech.
Yep. Or his brother Robert after the assassination of MLK.
Well, he clearly stated presidential speeches.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, like I said, I didn't like Obama, but man could give a good speech.
Yeah.
When you remember his teleprompter.
He could. I mean, he could give a really. He had good speechwriters and could lay one home with the best of them.
Yeah.
And then I said Bush's post 9/11 speeches were some of the. Were classics of the genre.
Yeah. Portland Mavericks, John. The hell are the Portland Mavericks?
Basketball.
I thought the Mavericks were Dallas.
What they were too. Did they get sold?
I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't watch basketball.
NBA has been hemorrhaging money for years, and it's only gone further downhill with the recent stupidity. The NHL has started to recover. MLB is on the fence.
Who wants to watch a fight where a hockey game occasionally breaks out?
No kidding, right? Hand egg just doesn't.
Yeah.
Ritual hand egg just never really.
I mean, the only thing I watch anymore is college sports.
Yep. And auto racing. That at least is fun for the moment. But otherwise, nah.
I don't see the draw for ritual hand egg. I really don't.
What Richard's watching Facebook videos on quarter pushing gambling videos instead of TV. Yeah.
We don't.
Single A. Okay,
the amount of time I have spent cooking during COVID is getting kind of ludicrous.
Reed and I don't even have a TV that gets news channels.
Same.
That's okay. So they're a single A ball team, independent team run by Kurt Russell's dad.
Huh.
And Major League Baseball hated them. Yeah, as an independent, yeah, they would be hated.
I'm kind of concerned that he actually knows that.
That's John.
Oh, okay.
You know, he spent time in Oregon. So.
Soon, Biden to sign additional executive orders.
Oh, whoopee shit.
In the same vein as soon, sun to rise in the east.
Yeah.
Well, they got to do something to bring back the bureaucracy that was getting pruned back. You know, comparing the Obama era VA versus what I saw under President Trump, there's a hell of a difference.
Yep. But it's fixing to go the other way. That was one of the conversations this morning also.
You know, if the VA would just bother to be honest, there wouldn't be a need for a VA police department or a ban on firearms and weapons on premises, because they wouldn't be worried about us coming in there and killing them to hold them accountable for their BS.
John says the Major League Baseball shut them down because they were beating everybody and pulling in 100,000 plus crowds.
Holy crap.
Wow. Yeah. We're getting to the end of this. I'm going to read something. I put this up in my post and also put it up on MeWe. The 10 Cannots was written by Reverend William J. H. Boetker, Boetcker. That's a hell of a name. You cannot bring about prosperity by discouraging thrift. You cannot strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. You cannot help little men by tearing down big men. You cannot lift the wage earner by pulling down the wage payer. You cannot help the poor by destroying the rich. You cannot establish sound security on borrowed money. That's definitely true. You cannot further the brotherhood of man by inciting class hatred, which is what's happening. You cannot keep out the trouble by spending more than you earn, which they're doing. You cannot build character and courage by destroying men's initiative and independence.
Yep.
Which they're doing. And you cannot help men permanently by doing for them what they can and should do for themselves. You know, those 10 things are all important. They're all true. And right now, every damn one of them is being violated by this administration. This is what we got. The question is, will we survive it?
Oh, we'll survive.
Well,
I'm not sure what. Well, we'll come out of it. Sooner or later, we'll come out of it. We always do. Why will be interesting, but we'll come out of it.
As long as we don't lose our cool.
Well, the question is going to be how many of us will be left.
Mm.
You know, how many of us will be left on the blogosphere? How many will be left on Facebook? How many will be left doing a YouTube channel?
Well, I'm already seeing a return to the internet of 94 and 99. Just because we've allowed ourselves to be corralled into little bitty Facebook and YouTube, remembering pre-Facebook, pre-YouTube,
Yeah.
the internet was a Wild West.
Yeah.
It's still out there. We just allowed ourselves to be corralled into little bitty areas.
Well, it's time to start disassociating.
Yep, already working on it.
And that perhaps is one of the shames about it, because Facebook, as problematic as it's been, was a one-stop shop.
That's
And that made socializing and social life much easier.
But now with MeWe, we have a viable alternative. Not a lot of people are there yet,
there.
but they are going there in droves. And what's funny is that for those of you that may not follow Larry Correa, Larry has probably well over 10,000 in a Facebook group.
Oh, good Lord. A whole lot more than that.
I'm being conservative, 10,000.
Oh, okay.
But he has now been throttled to the point that he can't even post in his own Facebook group,
Yep.
fan group. So he moved over to MeWe. Jesse says broke 4,000 over there this morning. But what Larry is doing to entice people to come over to MeWe is he is no longer putting up any reveals in Facebook.
Yeah.
All of the reveals will only be on MeWe.
He's dropping Easter eggs all over the place on me.
Yeah.
And it is hacking off some people on
Oh,
Facebook.
God, yes.
Oh, my God. It's you entitled little shits.
And they are entitled little shits.
You can't do that. This isn't fair. Well, move your happy ass over to me.
Yeah.
I have an account, I just don't use it.
I'm busy. Facebook is giving me no end of the ration of crap on getting my data.
Yeah.
So I go through, I'm pulling my pictures and stuff.
I've just given mine up for lost. Fuck it. I'm
Yeah,
done
I've
with it.
got too many Fox memes on there that I need to hang on to.
My headache is I actually use it for work and such right now. There's whole amounts of writing stuff that I do.
That's the great thing about it is having a Facebook account is where I'm working now is no longer a requirement.
Yeah.
At the agency, it was a requirement. You had to have Facebook if any of your kids did, so you keep an eye on what your kids said.
Yeah.
It's so great to be somewhere where they don't require you to have a Facebook page.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarah. A lot of us are moving over there and we're starting to get hits. And one thing that's interesting is that we're not being throttled.
No.
On Facebook, I've been throttled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why I'm no longer doing live stream on Facebook.
Yeah, because twice?
Yeah.
Yep.
We were live to us, but nobody else could see us. It's
Live to us,
really?
nobody else could see us. And the other time,
that never happens. Are you kidding me?
and the third time was we could see no comments, remember?
Yeah.
I remember that.
And people were commenting, we just couldn't see it.
But they didn't a single comment display. Yeah, that D&D post character test was rather interesting.
What?
Cedar put up in her MeWe account a post about D&D character test.
No. I'll have to go check that out.
Well, it assumes that you've ever played D&D, which I never have.
He'd be a warlock.
I'd say
Well-
just grouchy old fighter.
Oh, so now I'm to blame for Cedar starting her live stream on YouTube.
Good thing to be blamed for.
Huh?
It's a good thing to be blamed for. You can't gripe with that.
Yeah?
You can't gripe with that.
No.
One of the great things about cutting down my Facebook time is I hadn't realized how much of a time suck Facebook was.
Oh, yeah. It's
Uh,
definitely a time suck.
I don't use it on my computer just so I can pay attention to specifically writing.
I can't say that I'm actually getting writing done, but I'm putting digital characters on digital paper.
Yeah.
It's what I'm writing is crap right now, but it's actually getting done.
Well,
which is kind
folks,
of nice.
we've wasted another hour of your time today.
And had fun doing it.
ASW Dragon. Yeah.
Folks, chin up.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. We're a lot, trust me, Africans do this. This is Thursday for Africa.
Yeah.
We're going to survive. We're going to be fine. It's going to be a little bumpy. Probably it's not going to be as bumpy as the pessimists say, and it'll be a hell of a lot bumpier than the optimists say. We're going to get through this. Again, this is Thursday in Africa. We're going to be fine.
Yeah. And monkey meat on the stick out the side of the road is good, and you won't die from it.
No, and the goat dung fire adds a certain something to the meat.
Yeah. Little seasoning you weren't
Yeah.
expecting.
Make it a little more savory.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, we will not be up on Monday. We'll be back next Thursday. So y'all take care. Have a good weekend.
Be safe, guys.
Hug your loved ones. Give them a kiss. Communicate with those friends that you haven't talked to in a while. Make sure they're okay. And remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. Bye.